I think the term AAA in the video game sphere has been something that gamers have been scoffing and frowning at over maybe the last decade, and rightfully so, mainly because AAA games have really just not been performing recently very well in terms of quality, and it just seems like these big publishing companies that are associated with AAA games really feel like they can just kind of push gamers around, in a manner of speaking, just push out games that are just complete crap, and they just assume that people will buy them. So yeah, the term AAA for some gamers might kind of sound like nails on the chalkboard, but if a smaller game or, a certain underdog kind of game all of a sudden gets a reboot and along with that gets AAA treatment, that is not something to take lightly. That is actually pretty cool. Because of course AAA at its core, that means that it is not only being published by a major publishing company, but it typically has a lot more revenue, a lot better development behind it. It has a lot more resources that go into making it a good quality game. Definitely not saying every AAA game is quality. Obviously, as I've said, some of them might not be good. But when you get a game series like Crazy Taxi that all of a sudden gets a AAA treatment, that is something that is awesome, especially for fans of Crazy Taxi. Now, if you don't remember, a few months ago, Sega announced that they are rebooting a whole bunch of their classic IPs. They announced this in the form of like a trailer or a montage of sorts. And one of the most notable ones that they said that they were going to be rebooting, or at least to me, one of the most notable ones, one of the ones that kind of stuck out to me the most, was Crazy Taxi. Now, this was a game series that was big in the early 2000s. Looking on Wikipedia, the main three ones were released in 2000, 2001, and 2002. I believe I remember Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller. That was definitely just a really fun one that I remember playing a bunch of times at a buddy's house. Right, it was back when games were simple. They didn't need much of a storyline. It was just good, simple, stupid fun. And so yeah, like I said, Sega announced just a few months ago that this is one of the many IPs that they are reviving. And by itself, that was really cool. But now, just today, it just became news that this reboot of Crazy Taxi is getting a AAA game treatment. So there is some game studio in Japan called Sega Sapporo Studio. I guess they operate out of Hokkaido, Japan. And their president, Takaya Segawa, has just confirmed that the upcoming addition to the series will, like I said, be a AAA game. Now, unfortunately, this is almost all we really know about this reboot, along with the fact that it is getting revived along with its other Sega IPs like Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage. But this is really suggesting a significant investment in this Crazy Taxi reboot project. You definitely don't have to doubt that they are taking this seriously. I'm gonna be honest, at first I thought this was just gonna be like a pretty low effort remaster, and I was fine with that. But not only does it now sound like this is gonna be some sort of a successor standalone game in the series, but now it is going to be, well, it's confirmed that it is a AAA title. It's gonna have some sort of a substantial budget and production value that is associated with it. I wish we had a release date, I wish we had more info, but that is about all we have. I think this is very cool for Sega. They know that Crazy Taxi was, like I said, just good, pure fun. It was just a great series they had back in the early 2000s. Clearly, they know that, and clearly they are really wanting to invest a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of money into this new Crazy Taxi reboot. And it makes me wonder, are they gonna make any other of their IP revivals AAA? Are they gonna give them the same treatment? I think a Jet Set Radio or a Golden Axe that had a AAA game treatment, I think that would also be pretty cool.